Reverse high five. Hey guys and girls, time to grab the popcorn, get underneath the covers and get nice and cozy. It's time for an awkward story. For my job, I have to use public transport quite a lot, and it can be all different sorts of hours, and this incident happened on my way home at about 11:30 at night. Before I get to my train, I decide to pick up a nice juicy Burger King and an ice cold cup of Coca-Cola.
No advertising.
I get onto my train and see that it's nice and empty, so I think, great, more space for me. Because I'm a lanky prick, for me, it's easier to sit with my knees against the back of the chair. I know it's childish and probably a bit of a dick move, but I don't care, it's comfortable. There I am, minding my own business, eating my burger, drinking my Coke, and what do I hear from behind me? A big rumble of footsteps heading down the carriage. I turn around to inspect this monstrous noise, and it ends up being this big fat dude, clearly suffering from some kind of Down syndrome.
Breakfast! Breakfast!
Breakfast!
This guy thunders down the aisle next to me and sits right in front of me with all the grace of an elephant falling out of a fucking tree. To be fair, I'm surprised the train didn't fall off of its tracks. He shuffles around in his seat for a minute, probably trying to get rid of a wedgie that he's got, turns around, looks at me with this look. Now, I don't want to cause him any offence, he's obviously looking at me because of my legs, but I don't give a shit. So what does he do? He stands up and sits next to me, using again that same fat-ass force that he used before to sit in the chair. Now, I'm a kind of passive, forgiving guy, so just say to him, alright? He looks at me and says, I'm good. Now, because the train's pretty empty, I've got my bag on the floor, but I've got the shelf next to me on the opposite seat, down with my burger wrapper and my Coke on it. What this bloke decides to do is stand up, and yes, it looks painful, move across, pick up my Coke, put it on the seat opposite, and sit next to me. Now, mind you, the train is empty at this point. It's pretty much just us two on the train. Now, I thought to myself, I'm not going to let this guy get the better of me. I can be just as passive-aggressive too. So I decide to hatch my evil plan throughout the journey. After about 5 minutes of moving on the train, I decide I need to get up and go to the toilet. So politely in my nicest voice, I ask him to move, and you can see the pain on his face that he has to stand up and let me pass. When I come back, I pick up my Coke and sit back in the same place, again getting him to move. While I'm sat there next to him, I decide to take the biggest gulp of Coke in my life. Now, as many as you know, if you drink Coke really fast, you tend to get a little bit gassy. So with all my might, I let out the biggest fucking burp you can imagine. If we'd been in Pompeii, this would be comparable to Vesuvius exploding. But this guy just sits there and ignores me, trying to get the better of me, but I think, hang on a minute, I'm still not done with you yet, son. Again, another 5 minutes pass, I decide to stand up and again get something from my bag, each time causing him immense amount of pain and stress having to stand up because he weighs 20 stone too heavy. Finally, before I get to the end of my station, about 10 minutes away, again, I decide that I need a piss. Again, forcing him to stand up, I go to the toilet, take a few minutes in the toilet, come back, and to my surprise, this guy has moved. So what do? I sit next to him. Plonking my fat ass down next to him, I turn to look at him, he looks at me, and I simply say, alright. Check fucking mate. Thanks for watching this video, guys and girls. I hope you enjoyed another awkward story. I will try and think of more and get some more uploaded. If you did like it, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Type up a couple of comments, and I'll see you in the next episode. High five. Whoosh.